Okay, everybody. Today's video is not really a cooking video per se. Why am I saying per se? See, I would normally say that, but that fucking South Park's got me saying it, even though I wouldn't normally say it. I'm going to be making a video about burgers today, and I went and got this burger for research here because I thought I had to go to Long John Silver's because it's my favorite restaurant, and I've never actually had one of their burgers because they switched over to like Long John Silver's and A&W. And man, I just love burgers when they come in these little wrappers. Like you just throw a bunch of them in a sack, and you got like a lot of options. Then, like, do you ever see that movie Harry and the Hendersons where they were getting all those burgers to lure the Bigfoot out of the house? That made me so fucking hungry. Man, that and Harold and Kumar are some of the best movies for burgers. The thing about Long John Silver's is it's my favorite restaurant. It's the very best in the world. It has seafood. You have all these different kinds of fish sandwiches that they make, but I've never tried those because they always get the same crap because it's so good. I can't get anything other than that. I usually get like the sampler combo with some shrimp and some fish and some chicken and some breaded clams. Or if I'm really hungry, I get like a 3 fish, 2 chicken or something like that. And you get slaw and fries. It's all really fucking good. So I've never tried their burgers because anytime I go up there, I see the burgers. I'm like, oh, but I got Long John Silver's. I'm here. I got burgers, but I got Long John Silver's, and I just have to get the Long John Silver stuff. So now this is really purely for research. I want to see how good this burger is. I'm going to make like a top 10 of my favorite cheeseburgers from a restaurant. See, that doesn't look. That looks pretty good. It's all melty and gross looking, which is what you want. You don't want it looking too perfect, and I'll tell you why later on. But I want to see how this goes. Look at all these pickles. They're really stacked on that one side. Man, they didn't even ask me what I wanted to drink. I'm assuming they just give you a root beer because it's A&W. No, I think it's Pepsi or something. That's weird. They didn't even ask. Yeah, so we always talk about me eating burgers and doing fat things all day, but I really don't eat out a lot. But lately I've been craving some fast food restaurant cheeseburgers, so I've been trying a few different places. And I'm going to do some more research here and get back to you on my top 10. But it's kind of funny because my first memory ever, when I was 3 years old, my brother was born and they were wheeling him out of the hospital with my mom. And my dad had stopped at McDonald's and got me a cheeseburger. I guess it was a Happy Meal or something, but I dropped my cheeseburger on the floor of the backseat of our car, and I accidentally stepped on it, and it made me sad, and I cried. Didn't really care about my brother being born, but I was sad about losing that cheeseburger. That was my first memory. I think I'm qualified to do a top 10 list on best fast food cheeseburgers of all time. And I say fast food cheeseburgers, like franchise fast food cheeseburgers, because my hometown has these amazing little cheeseburgers that are like $1.20 each. And people come from miles around. They come from Indiana and Tennessee and other states to just pile in, like when we have our fall festivals, and they buy a shitload of these cheeseburgers, and they have lines out the door, and it's crazy. And they're just little cheeseburgers that are like cooked in a big layer of grease, and they're kind of floating in grease. They call them grease bombers. And they would have them all on this white wax paper, and you'd stick them all in the bag, and they'd get all smushed up and square shaped, and the cheese would all melt to the wrapper, and you gotta lick the cheese off, and you really get your daily recommended value of grease with those. But usually there's so much grease on the wrapper that it was see-through. It was transparent from all the grease, which is pretty bad. I'm gonna finish this burger and I'll get back to you. Alright. That was good. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. I'm fine. That was good stuff. Since every burger has to have fries, then I guess I should tell you what my favorite fries are. Because the ones I just had from A&W, you can kind of tell that they were cooked in the same grease as the fish, whatever they make, because there's a little sign on the window as you go through the drive-thru that says product contains seafood, or if you have allergies involving shrimp or seafood allergies or something, and the food may come in contact with seafood. And it has like a fishy aftertaste to the fries, so they're good if you're eating the fish stuff, but if you're eating burgers, you might not want to get the fries. But as far as French fries go, McDonald's sucks because they're golden brown, which is a little overcooked, and sometimes they're all nasty, wrinkly. You've probably seen those movies where they show you like you can put French fries from McDonald's in a bag and leave it outside for like 30, 40 days or a year, and they look exactly the same because they're chock full of some kind of shit that'll kill you. And usually you get really tiny pieces too, like they break up in little pieces when they're frozen, I guess, and they get really shitty French fries out of them. But Dairy Queen has the best fucking French fries you can ever get. Sometimes they're a little soggy, which is okay with me. I kind of like them that way. They're really light colored, like they're almost undercooked, but just barely done. And then they're really good and salty, and I don't know, they're perfect. These A&W fries were kind of like those, but with a fishy aftertaste. Everybody else's fries are pretty much the same. I've never actually tried it, but since Long John Silver's has 2 different kinds of restaurants in their one restaurant, you could get a burger and then get like an extra side of a piece of flaky fish or whatever. Put the fish thing on top of your burger and just make a fish burger if you want, or a chicken burger. Throw some shrimps on there. You could get like a side of clams. You could create your own seafood burgers at Long John Silver's. I don't know why people don't do that. It's kind of gross, but it kind of sounds like one of those fish tacos, which I don't even know what a fish taco is. Apparently it's a real thing. I always thought it was some kind of special name that you call like a girl's vagina when it's really stinky. Alright, now most of these burgers are like signature burgers from the restaurant that they come from. But number 10 is different because number 10 is a mushroom and Swiss burger. Now I've had, I think, the Hardee's mushroom and Swiss. I had another mushroom and Swiss at some other place, and they're all pretty much the same because it's just like mushroom and Swiss cheese and some kind of special sauce. But I was looking on some websites to do some research, and Wendy's has this new gourmet mushroom and Swiss, which looks amazing. It's got, what does it got here? Well, you know, Wendy's burgers are really good, plus this has got mushrooms and bacon on it, so it's like bacon mushroom and Swiss. And it's got portobello mushrooms instead of the normal kind. And it's got a savory peppercorn sauce. And tomato. You don't usually get tomato on a mushroom and Swiss burger, which is pretty amazing. Burger King's also got this new mushroom and Swiss burger called a steakhouse burger. I've tried the normal Burger King steakhouse burger and it was really fucking good, but it is kind of expensive, so it didn't really make it onto the top 10. But their mushroom and Swiss probably really good too. I believe it has batter dipped onions on top of it too, which is kind of too fattening if you put like batter dipped stuff on top of your... Well, I was talking about having fish fillets on them earlier, so... Mushroom and Swiss gets number 10. No particular restaurant. I'm guessing Wendy's is probably the best one. Coming in at number 9, McDonald's Big and Tasty Burger. Now, McDonald's, usually people would go with the Big Mac, but I don't really like the Big Mac. Big Mac's too plain, doesn't really do anything for me, doesn't have any kick, doesn't have anything special about it. It's okay if you're in a jam and you're like stranded in a desert for a while and you need something. The Big Mac would be really fucking good, but normally I wouldn't get it. So that's what got me into the Big and Tasties, and I started trying those, and they were really good. Had a good mayonnaise tomato combination in there, mixing up. You want a burger that's pretty sloppy, that'll make a pretty good mess, that you can't just eat. You don't want it to be too perfect. Number 8 is Carl's Jr. Superstar. Now, I don't even know if I've had this before. I just looked on the website and it looks amazing. It has to be good. Carl's Jr. Now, I don't know if that's a division of Hardee's or Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are owned by the same people, but I think it's pretty much the same restaurant because they got kind of the same menu and the website is made by the same people. But there is some differences, like Carl's Jr. has jalapeno burgers, Western bacon cheeseburger, which is pretty much just bacon and cheeseburger with some batter dipped onion rings on top of it, if you can believe that. They got these guacamole bacon burgers, which I don't even know if that would be good. I don't really... It's kind of getting crazy, mixing Mexican food with the burger. It's going to make you shit like crazy. They got chili cheese $6 burgers and stuff, but I think some of that Hardee's has too, but it looks like it's the same restaurant. It depends on where you live. Like I was talking to Squid, I was telling him about Rally's, and he'd never heard of a Rally's, but he told me about this restaurant called Checkers, and I looked it up and it had the same exact font and stuff as Rally's. It's the same logo, and it's just a different restaurant with a different name. I don't know why they do that. They name it something in one place and something else. So Carl's Jr. and Hardee's is pretty much the same restaurant, and Rally's and Checkers is pretty much the same. And that brings me to number 7, which is the Rally's Big Buford burger. I only remember having it one time, but it was one of those really good burgers. Big Buford's out of control. It just like had sloppy mayonnaise and sauce everywhere, and it was really good. I've only ate at Rally's 1 or 2 times, and Big Buford was really awesome. I kind of have a bad feeling in my gut about Rally's because I loaned a guy some money to eat there one time, and he never paid me back, so it really pisses me off when I think of Rally's. It reminds me of bad times. But that's just my deal. Number 6 is Wendy's Old Fashioned Double Burger. I mean, they got singles, doubles, triples, however you want it. Wendy's burgers are pretty classically known as being really good. They also got this Baconator Bacon Burger, which is kind of like nothing but bacon and meat. I don't usually eat at Wendy's a lot, but I remember it being pretty good. The only thing I don't like about Wendy's is their burgers. They're perfectly square. It's kind of hard to make a mess out of them, I guess. I haven't had them in a while, but I might be wrong. But it seems like they're too clean cut. They don't go outside the box. They're too kind of professionally done. Gotta make it look like a burger you might make at home. Number 5, the burger I just ate. The A&W Papa Burger. It was pretty damn good. Those fries aside, it's kind of like a Big Mac if you did it right and you made it sloppy. It was kind of like a combination of a Rally's Big Buford and maybe another burger. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I've only had it that one time. Come to think of it, it may not be as good as a Wendy's burger or a Big Buford or Carl's Jr. for that matter. I don't even know. I'm just kind of putting these all in the same... All these burgers are pretty much around the same level, the ones in the middle. It's hard to like distinguish about which ones are better and which ones aren't. Like maybe the Wendy's would be lower because it's so perfectly made. But it does taste really good, which is a good thing, and it's kind of hard to place them. Sesame seed buns or not is kind of a good qualifier to figure out which burgers are better because you want sesame seeds on your bun. If you go cheap ass and don't put any sesame seeds on your bun, it's kind of, you should lose points for that. Number 4, the Burger King Double Whopper. And I ate this a lot. normal Whopper's not really enough meat, so I usually get the double Whopper. Sometimes I'll go overboard and I'll get 2 of these because I have those coupons where you buy one get one free if you get the value meal, and I almost make myself sick eating these fucking Whoppers because Whoppers are awesome. I'm pretty sure Burger King puts their burgers in the paper when they wrap it up. A lot of these places have the cardboard boxes because their burgers are so big they won't even really... Well, you could wrap anything up. I don't know why they don't just wrap it up. I like it when it's wrapped up and you got cheese melted onto the wrapper. You got to bite it off. You put them in the box. It just takes away from some of the fun of eating a burger. But I think Burger King wraps up their burgers, which is a good thing. And the Whopper's a classic. Plus they got the new steakhouse burgers. Can't really go wrong with Burger King. The fries are pretty good too. I'd say they got the number 2 or 3 fries if I had to rank them all. So Burger King's great. Number 3 is the McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese. Now the thing about the double quarter pounder with cheese is it doesn't fuck around. It says fuck it with the lettuce and tomato and salad shit. I ain't into that. I'm just gonna put some sauteed onions on top of here, 2 big meat patties, double cheese, and some pickles. Pickles and onions and just meat and cheese. Just pile it on. That's another thing about me not wanting the Big Mac. Well, you get the double quarter pounder with cheese instead because the Big Mac sucks so bad, and it's like, wow, this is really fucking good. If you're in the mood for some meat and you just want meat and cheese, double quarter pounder with cheese is the fucking way to go. I had a really big craving for double quarter pounder with cheese earlier this last week, and I had to go get one. I'm guessing these other restaurants have pretty much the same double quarter pounder with cheese, the ones that do. So it doesn't really have to be McDonald's in this case. That's just the one I eat the most. The double quarter pounder with cheese, they don't fuck around. They get rid of salads and shit. They just make a good burger. They should really make that their slogan at McDonald's. Double quarter pounder with cheese. It doesn't fuck around. It gets right to the point. Number 2. This could be number 1, but I'm putting it number 2 just because the number 1 burger is so fucking big that it kind of makes up for it with sheer size. Number 2 is the DQ Ultimate Burger. It's one of my favorite burgers of all time. It's like, it doesn't come in a wrapper, which is a bad thing, but it's got the sesame seed bun, it's got bacon on it, it's got lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, onions, pickles, everything, and good special sauce. Something about Dairy Queen sauce, it's kind of pinkish or orangish. I don't know what the fuck they put in it, but it's amazing. It's the best sauce of any burger I've ever had. And they usually have so much cheese that it drips off into the little cardboard thing and it comes in, and you gotta like scrape off some of the cheese with your finger. And it's got bacon, so it just adds on to everything. It's like a really awesome burger. And they got the best fries. Dairy Queen, they used to just sell ice cream and like frozen ice cream cakes and stuff like that and milkshakes, but then they got this Dairy Queen Brazier. No, it's like a bra. It's like Dairy Queen Brazier. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's like they started cooking burgers and they did really fucking good at it, and nobody really knows how awesome Dairy Queen burgers are because they're always going to McDonald's or places like that. When one of the best burgers I've ever had. DQ Ultimate. Now, like I've been talking about these fast food restaurants, that they're not nearly as good as if you went to a real restaurant where you sit down and you have a waiter and you order a burger. Those big-ass burgers are great, but that doesn't really count in this because I'm talking about fast food burgers. But Hardee's has the $6 burger, which is, I guess Carl's Jr. has the same thing. It's like a restaurant burger, and they converted a while back. They used to have some pretty crappy burgers, and everybody stopped going to Hardee's. They almost went out of business, I think, and then they came back strong. Had this whole new campaign about thick burgers and 100% pure Angus beef. So now they have like these third pounders, these half pounders, these 2/3 pounders where they take 2 third-pound patties and pile them on. They got huge ass buns. They got the fucking best burgers. You can't go wrong with them. If I was like stuck in a mall when I was attacked by zombies, let's say, and I only had one restaurant in the mall that I could have for the rest of my life, I would have to go with Long John Silver's because of the variety with the fish and the seafood and the burgers. But second place, I would have to choose Hardee's because Hardee's has like a really good menu and awesome burgers. Or unless you're counting KFC and Pizza Hut type things, because I'm not even going to get into that. But Hardee's $6 burger. I don't think I've ever gotten a 2/3 pound burger, but the $6 burger, you can't really go wrong with it. It's not really $6 either. It's like $4.50 or something, but it's called a $6 burger because that's what you'd pay for in a restaurant. It's like half a pound of meat and lettuce, tomato, onions, and it's all just really huge and giant. Other than that, I have to go with the Ultimate because it's better made. But the Hardee's one is just like a monster truck compared to a pickup truck. You can't really compare with it. And Hardee's also has curly seasoned fries, which a lot of restaurants don't have. And they have like onion rings and other things you can get. So if you get the curly fries on a $6 burger, you're pretty much sitting in heaven. That's why it gets number 1. And this has been T2's top 10 fast food burgers of all time.
You know what? You're getting clean right now. I'm sick of this.
But stop, you're burning him!
Trent, I'm not gonna hurt him. I just want to clean him up. Get some soap and a mop from Phil Collins, all right? Get down. Bring off! Stay down there. Well, if you showered, we'd have to go through this, would we? There we go. Get some soap on him.
Wash him down, Rick. About fucking time.
Rick. So stay still. It'll be a lot easier. This is happening one way or another. Frick off! You want me to pull my gun out? No. Let's get under those armpits. Right. That's enough. That's enough, Ricky. Leave him alone. Rinse him off, Trey. Get my curb. We're talking. Stop, Trey. I got soap in my eyes.
Suck it up, Mayor McKee.